they'll encounter with UFOs, and it got a lot of attention high up in his own government. That's Ghana. There's a lot of cases from South Africa where the South African Air Force was involved, and a number of other African nations we know of. The reason that Africa and also Asia for many years, we haven't historically had as many UFO reports from those regions. I think the only reason for this is that during the 1950s and 60s and those early years, those regions didn't have an infrastructure for reporting it very easily. So people would see these things, but they would have no place to report it too easily. And in that kind of a situation, you don't collect as many reports. But there's every evidence showing that the phenomenon is just as active there as it is anywhere else, and that those governments, hey, they're all part of the global international community, and so there's no exceptions here.
Thanks, Sam. We appreciate the call. We're going to go to our international line. Angela, British Columbia. How you doing?
Oh, hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Margaret Thatcher comes to mind. Something very odd that I saw on a television clip.
Okay.
She spoke of the stars when she was still Prime Minister of England. The stars, always follow the stars. It seemed very, very odd. And I thought perhaps it's a small Jewish group that she respected, or, some small group that she respected. But now that I am a believer, I also include the UFO subject into that. Just follow the stars. The next time I saw her on the clip, she had her face, the side of her face on the podium, still speaking. Enormous strength. That woman had enormous strength. Mm-hmm. I was just wondering what your thoughts are on Margaret Thatcher and the UFO question.
Well, very, very interesting point. I have not been aware of that statement. I'm going to start looking at that, though, I can assure you. One thing I'm sure that Margaret Thatcher very likely would have had gotten some kind of information on this. And I think it's probable that she did, only because of her position, only because of the position Britain's intelligence agency has in relation to the U.S. It's a very close relationship there. The United States has massive presence over in Britain militarily and in the intelligence field. And British prime ministers historically have been very close to U.S. presidents for most of the decade. So Margaret Thatcher would be, I think, a good candidate, in my view, for someone who would have had knowledge on this. As far as I can think, there's not a lot that I can come up with in my own mind here that links her directly to this. So that's something that's worth looking into. I think there's something there.
Well, she sure was tight with Reagan, that's for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
Angela, thanks for that call. Let's try to get one more call in. Okay, we tried Jesse in Santa Barbara once before. Is Jesse there on a wild card line?
Yeah, I'm here. Jesse in Santa Barbara. Thanks for having me on the show.
Hey, Jesse. Okay.
All right. I had two UFO experiences this weekend. I saw one the other day and two tonight. Yeah, the one the other night was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. It looked like a strange star in the sky. It caught my attention. Then this white light started to expand to about the size of a little bigger than a pencil eraser. And then it contracted upon itself. It took about 3.5 seconds for this whole process to happen. And then it looked like it just shot right out into space. And I know what things look like when they leave orbit because I'm about 5 miles from Vandenberg Air Force Base, and I see the missiles launch all the time. Now, I saw two more things tonight that were incredible. They were
Jesse. Jesse, it's hard for Richard Dolan to evaluate what you saw. So he's an historian guy. Can you ask him about this stuff?
Yeah, I can. If anybody's interested in seeing what I saw tonight, speaking of NASA footage, I went on the internet and looked up sightings for 2008 in November, and for November 16th today, there are UFO footage captured on the Space Shuttle Endeavour for November 16th, 2008. It looks like what I saw tonight. So it's I'm wondering all kinds of things, like might it be connected with these fires? Might it be a smoke screen or whatever? But basically what I want to ask you is, do you think that what I saw from my description is ours or theirs? And
I couldn't say at this point. It really could be either. I think what you may have is a possible breaking story, though. I mean, there could be something there that's worth looking into.
Everybody's inside watching the fires on TV right now. Nobody's outside looking at the sky.
You've got a couple of days, several days in a row, or close to several days in a row, where you've got this interesting stuff going on there. Do you know if it's related? Do you think it's related to Vandenberg Air Force Base, or do you have any?
Hey,
I have no idea. I mean,
Jesse, we appreciate that call, but we're going to have to go. Richard, it's been a pleasure, man. It's been great to have you on the show.
I love talking to you every single time. I always have a great time hanging out here with you.
You know what? You're going to have to bring the missus and come out to Las Vegas, and you and I will sit around and solve the problems of the world. But it's
great.
Can't wait for the new book to come out, the follow-up to UFOs and the National Security State, due out in the spring, and I hope you'll come back and talk to us then.
Absolutely. Check out keyholepublishing.com. That is my website, and I'll have information on the book as it comes out.
All right, Richard Dolan, thanks very much. And, of course, the links to his website are on the Coast to Coast site. Thanks to all the folks there at Premier Radio. Thank you for joining us, and I'll be back next Sunday. Ian and George will be here in between. Hope you'll tune into them as well. Good night.